Education regular session to order. Please stand as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Is there a second? A motion has been made by Board Member Duncan and second by Board Member Palmer. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? The motion is approved by a 6-0 vote. Do we have any visitors? This is a time when we allow citizens 3 minutes to address the board. Please feel free to submit any documents to the board. Registered speakers may not assign or yield their speaking time to other members. We do not normally address your concerns today, but we may ask the administration to address your concerns and provide you with an appropriate response. If your topic involves a personnel matter, or if you contend that your legal rights have been violated, we have specific grievance procedures for those matters. Speakers should be professional, and we should respectfully ask that you refrain from using profane or vulgar language. You should not make any threats, slanderous remarks, or engage in behavior that disrupts the decorum of this meeting. By submitting a request to a comment card, you acknowledge and agree that you understand and will follow the guidelines for the meeting decorum and public participation, which are listed on the comment card you completed. I would like to welcome Ms. Stacy B. Lewis.
Good evening, Vice Chair, well, Chairwoman today, the board, as well as the superintendent, and everyone that's here in support of our students and staff of Rockdale County. My name is Stacy Bonner Lewis. I am a parent, band booster president of Heritage High School, as well as a school council member at Heritage. I don't know if you all saw in the news just a couple days ago that the City of Marietta School Board implemented and have approved vaping detectors at their high school and middle school. I think that's awesome because I'm here because that's a concern of mine at Heritage High School. We've talked to Dr. Pittman about it. The children or students will go into the bathrooms and it's a haze, or you can smell the vaping. Kids that don't want to get involved with that, they will run out of there, go to another restroom, run back to get to their classroom so they won't be marked tardy. They shouldn't have to do that. And so we would like you all to consider seriously maybe having the detectors, vaping detectors added to our high schools, specifically Heritage High School. I understand if you want to do a pilot program, I ask that you consider Heritage High School as the guinea pig, if you will. This is my third year of being involved with Heritage High School, and it continues. And so I really think that we need to be proactive to help our students, to help them with knowing that this is inappropriate, this is not good for their health, and it's against the policy of Heritage High School as well as the school. So I would really consider, helpfully, that you all consider adding vaping detector devices to our schools, maybe beef up education and the consequences if they are caught doing it. It can also just deter students from doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. I would like to now hand it over to Superintendent Chesser for cabinet updates and her personal update.
Thank you, Vice Chairwoman Jones, and good evening, board members, to our cabinet members and those in attendance today. First, I'd like to just add thank you, Ms. Bonner Lewis, for that feedback. I will tell you that is something that is a high priority for us. We understand that that's an area of focus for us in terms of the vaping. We started that conversation and that work in collaboration with law enforcement officials back in the spring. And I'll tell you an exciting storyboard is that as we engaged in the conversation, there was actually a young student, an 8th grade student at General Ray Davids Middle School, who asked to meet with some cabinet members and me, and he shared that similar concern about vaping happening in some of our bathrooms. And that was the recommendation that he shared with us during the time that we met, that perhaps trying out some of the sensors in the bathroom would help to remedy and thwart some of the vaping that was occurring. And so what I will tell you, board, and to Ms. Bonner-Lewis, is that I know Mr. Budenseek is in the process of doing a pilot. I don't know if he shared that directly with you, but to implement a pilot program of those sensors in our bathroom to see if that will help to remedy some of the misbehavior that we're seeing in the restrooms. But what I'll also say is there is an education process that is occurring. We spent some time at the end of the school year talking about the dangers of vaping. We actually had a forum at the end of the school year, but we do understand that that's an ongoing conversation that we need to have with our young people. We know that they're not truly understanding the risk that are involved with vaping. So we know that that work will continue as we start the new school year. So thank you for that feedback. But in terms of our cabinet presentations, we'll begin first this evening with our Community Impact Division, beginning with Ms. Cindy Ball.
Presiding Vice Chairwoman Jones, good evening, board members, our superintendent, and guests. As we stated to you last month, we are going to start presenting the community relations PowerPoint during the regular session each month. And, we typically have a room full of students and families here so that they can see some of the things that are going on throughout the schools as well. I will tell you that there are a few slides in here that are probably duplicates along the way because we also use this in our front lobby to scroll. So when visitors come in, they also see this as well. So you may see some things that are duplicates, but we do track our social media. So this will always be in it, posts with the most reach and our top tweets or on X. So there are things that we do track with our social media to expand our outreach. As Mrs. Chester said last week, we did have our school nutrition team, particularly those who are working the summer feeding program, win the USDA Turnip the Beat Award. And this is for actually last summer, so not this current summer. So this is for the 2024 summer. Very proud of the work that we do throughout the summer to feed our children in Rockdale County. Foundation, the RCPS Foundation awards 4 scholarships every year. And you can see the winners here. We have, I'm sorry, this must be on a timer that I'm not aware of, so I'm going to flip back and forth. But this is somewhat a fairly new, a couple of years old, and they have a unique application process. The students actually submit a 2-minute video for this application. So it's new and exciting and different for the students. And as you know, we have board member Duncan, who is also on the board for the foundation. And they do great work and have been supporting the school system for over 35 years. The Collins Family Scholarship this year awarded every single applicant a scholarship. It was phenomenal. They award $3,000 scholarships. It is on a timer for the front. Sorry about that. They award $3,000 scholarships. So we had 11 applicants win $3,000 scholarships from the Collins Family Scholarship this year. Very proud of that. We have a Posse Scholar among us, won a full tuition to the College of Worcester. We have a National Merit Finalist. You all are very familiar with Prakash Gupta. He's familiar with this boardroom. We're very proud of Prakash. We actually gave him an award standing up here with you for being a semifinalist. And the last thing I said to him that night was, Prakash, you better bring it home. And he did. So we're very proud of Prakash winning that National Merit Scholarship. Questbridge Scholarship winners, we have 3 of them. And Questbridge, I believe, is also a full ride. It is a full 4-year scholarship, and it is estimated value at $325,000 per student. Yes. And then we have Amazon. Amazon is up to $40,000 scholarship, and the other, the Horatio Algers is a $25,000 scholarship, and the Fosse Scholarship is a $40,000 scholarship. So very proud of our students who just recently graduated and are now closely on their way to school if they haven't left already for the summer. You were familiar with LaTerrence Fleming, and we did mention, I think, last time we had LaTerrence here, that he also was a local scholarship, the Snapping Shoals EMC Awards. We have several students who won that. That's a local scholarship. Our student athletic aid camp was happening this summer. You can see these students go through rigorous coursework really to support all of our athletic teams. And Dr. Rouse does a great job bringing these students along and teaching them how to support our student athletes out on the field throughout the school year. And I think if you go to these athletic events, you see them. They're working and they're running out in the field helping all of our student athletes. Girls flag football, what can I say? It is hot out and they are outside competing in flag football. So kudos to this team for really, I mean, you know, we talk about it being so hot in the summertime and football being such a hot sport, but they're out there competing in this heat. So kudos to our girls flag football team for competing this summer. And as you know, again, this is going in the front lobby, but we did honor LaTerrence for bringing home a national championship in track from the Salem High School track team. And then we're moving on to our back to school bash, which is going to be Saturday, July 26th. It'll be at Wheeler Park. Specifically, well, it's actually going to be all over. It says the lawn at Wheeler Park, but it is going to be all over Wheeler Park. We will have overflow parking at RCA. We plan to have 2 shuttle buses running from RCA because that's a little bit of a hike. But we have over 2,200 clear book bags to give out and lots of school supplies for our students and families. So please join us if you can. It's going to be hot, so dress appropriately. We'll have plenty of water, but it's going to be hot. And the last thing we'd like to highlight is here in this building in the atrium, we have our central office wall art that we have our schools scroll through each month and provide artwork for that. And we end with upcoming events. And I promise in the future I will take the timer off before I bring this to you. But you can see it's busy. It's time. We're all coming back. And I know you have all of this information in your board briefs as well, but it's a nice long list of busyness for the next couple of weeks. So we're looking forward to it. So with that, I will transition to another area of the Community Impact Division, and that is student registration. And I want to bring up the most amazing Megan Sayago, who has been leading the student registration department, and she will transition to ESOL and hospital homebound, but I have persuaded her to hold on through this rush with student registration. So I am most grateful to Megan for helping out with student registration. They're doing a phenomenal job. And before, Megan, you can come on up, but I also just want to give our student registration and our technology folks a little kudos from a national listserv or national Facebook group of school communicators that I belong to. And on the most recent chat in this group was about transitioning from Remind to Parent Square. There are a lot of systems, as you know, transitioning because Remind is going away. So there are many across the country that are in the middle of this transition. And I saw post after post after post of my colleagues complaining because they're having a difficult time. And the difficult time is coming from their data and their data not being clean in that transition. And so when I texted our chief technology officer this morning and said, look, I got to bring you sweet treats or something because you guys are doing a great job. And he said, but really it starts in student registration and the data that's getting put into our student information system. So I just want to give them a shout out for that because I got on and I said, well, I just want to thank my team in Rockdale County because we're not having those data issues. So kudos and thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Vice Chair Jones, board members, and Superintendent Chesser. Thank you for the opportunity to share student registration updates with you this evening. The student registration team is a small but mighty team of 3. Stephonia Smart is our lead, and Patty Kirchhoff and Japonica Jenkins are our student registration technicians. Student registration processes all incoming applications for new students or students who have left the district and are returning. We also process information updates that are completed by parents of existing students. To get a picture of the work of student registration, we processed and approved 11,620 online applications during the 24-25 school year. This included new student applications, as well as information updates like address changes, guardianship changes, adding or removing emergency contacts, or other updates to general contact information. Over 17,000 students were included in these applications. Not all of these were new students. 17,711 is the total number of students whose information was added or updated in the 24-25 school year. While we remain busy all year, we approved 6,623 applications, 57% of our total in July and August alone. So this is by far our busiest season. We work hard throughout the year to maintain and adjust our processes and make improvements. So to prepare for the 25-26 school year, we focused on 3 main elements: the online registration experience, in-person customer service, and community awareness and advertising. To improve the online registration experience, we revisited the online registration, or OLR, application with our colleagues from technology and other departments and made revisions to streamline the process. One example is to update the notes that pop up within the application to provide clear information and instruction for parents. This is one example so parents know who they should and should not include as a parent or guardian in their application. Another update was to our housing verification. We added specific questions regarding living arrangements and circumstances that may indicate the need for McKinney-Vento supports, as you see on the slide. We also revised our student services questions to gather clear information regarding whether a new student requires special education, ESOL, gifted, or other services. And we updated our release agreements, including discipline and attendance protocols to ensure accuracy. To enhance our in-person customer service, we updated the bulletin board in our office to make it more visually appealing and provide more space for information. We also have a dynamic display monitor coming soon that will scroll district information, like what Ms. Ball mentioned in the front lobby, and announcements, as well as at-home learning tips for families. And through the L4GA grant, we now have books for children to enjoy while visiting our office and to take home with them for their own collection. Finally, we engaged in staff training throughout the school year to ensure continuity of our processes and ongoing collaboration with other departments. To support community awareness and advertising, we hosted a kindergarten signing day with Shauna Miller and the early learning staff. Families were able to enroll their kindergarten students to be ready for the 25-26 school year. Transportation brought a big yellow school bus over for the kids to explore, and we set it up like a professional sports signing day to make it enjoyable for parents and students to get them excited to start kindergarten. Other community awareness efforts included maintaining updated information on our new RCPS website, putting up yard signs at schools and local businesses, I hope you've seen them around town, and bringing flyers to neighborhoods and apartment complexes so they can encourage new families to enroll. These efforts seem to be working. We have received an average of 35 new student applications per day this week. Notably, last year's surge in new applications began about 10 days before the first day of school. It was on July 22nd. This year, we're seeing this strong surge about 18 days before the first day of school, so putting us ahead of last year's pace. In addition to these measures to support our new families, we also worked with the technology department to improve the process for existing families. This year, families had the option to complete an information update in Parent Portal, and if you're a parent, you know that's a little bit of a lengthy process, but that's how we have that clean data that Cindy was talking about. And that's if they needed to change their address or other information. or they had the option to simply sign the required annual agreements, including the acceptable use agreement that allows students access to RCPS technology. To date, parents of over 5,000 students have chosen to complete the required documents, and about 2,000 have completed the full information update. We'll certainly seek input from families about their experience with the process, but it does seem that the new option has been popular based on the numbers. And this is greatly decreasing the number of annual update or information update applications that the student registration team has to review and process during this busy time. So as we enter the busy season, we're really already in it. As we move through July, the season we lovingly call the student registration rush, we'll be moving our operations into the boardroom from July 23rd through August 8th. We already have additional application processors working evenings and weekends, and we have a team of substitutes and other district personnel who will support us while we're in the boardroom as our in-person and online volume increase. Throughout the process, we remain committed to timely enrollment for all students to ensure a great start to the 25-26 school year. Thank you very much, and I welcome any questions you may have.
Are there any questions?
I do, and I don't know if this question is to you or you, Ms. Hurley. The numbers you said there's 35 that you're getting every day. Do we know if those are related to the House bill? What was it, 917 with the transfers? Are we getting a lot of transfers, or are those just students moving into the county?
Those are new student applications. We have not had a lot of questions about transfers. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. Thank you for providing the information. With the online registration, is the technology compatible to an iPhone or smart tablet?
That's a great question. It is. And the Infinite Campus Parent Portal enhanced their system last school year. So prior to 24-25, we told parents you really need to do it on your computer. We do have computers available in our lobby, and we will have 8 computers available when we move into the boardroom, but they advanced their technology. So now if you turn your phone, you can see all the columns, and so it is user-friendly. For pre-K registration, the pre-K program, they do that at the Early Learning Center, and Ms. Miller always has laptops, but most of the parents just do the whole application on their phone because that's where they have a screenshot of their driver's license. That's where they can pull up their lease easily, and they can upload the documents right from their phone.
Okay, thank you. Also, with registration, do we have any flexible registration hours? For example, we have the back to school bash. Will there be a registration table there?
We won't have a table there, mostly because we're going to be outside, and so it will be difficult for us to have computers and such set up, but I will be there. Some of our team members will be there to support families getting, if they have questions or need assistance.
And I actually have 2 questions. Because in my role, like registration impacts my job, so I know how it could probably impact what we do here. If a family start to register and they run into some issues, do you have a support line? Is there a live chat line?
There's not a live chat line. They can call our office or come to our office for support. We also have a direct email, register@rockdale.k12.ga.us, and everyone on our team is in that email replying and responding if families have questions.
Okay, and this is my last question. I know that the registration documents, they is in Spanish, right? Parents have access to it in Spanish. Is that the only language? Because one thing that I've noticed is that over the past few years, we've had an increase, even though it may seem like a small number, but we have an increased amount of students of Asian descent. And I was wondering if that application may just kind of accommodate those families.
The online registration application itself, the parents can click to change it to Spanish, French, and one more language, I think. Do you guys know? But it's, I believe it's one more language, but I don't believe, I don't know what it is. I can find out for you. Families can change the language of the application itself, and that's an Infinite Campus. That's their system that they've accommodated.
Okay, that is Superintendent Chester. That is something to kind of look into because, like I said, I've noticed a trend just kind of from looking at data that we've had an increase in that population of students. Yeah, that was my last question.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, ladies. And I'll wrap up. I'll be very brief. Board members, we did participate in the summer GALE, the Georgia Association of Educational Leaders virtual conference this week. So I know some of the cabinet members and I had an opportunity to hear directly from Governor Kemp as well as State Superintendent Woods. And they covered a range of topics, including safety, the new English language arts standards, and also the importance of giving feedback to the team members that we support and serve. So great conference to participate and get some learning in before our children return. In terms of learning, we also had a day here in our boardroom led by our exceptional children department, and that's where they had a professional learning day for all of our new special education teachers. So I know Dr. Tyra Simon and Dr. Smith Dixon were able to bring all of our new special education teachers in to give them a day of specific training before all of the other teachers return. So we appreciate that first initial day for them. We do have an exciting week ahead, beginning on Monday, believe it or not. So on Monday, the 21st, we have new teacher orientation. So we had our special education teachers yesterday, but beginning on Monday, all of our teachers who are new to Rockdale County Public Schools will come in. They'll be on site at Heritage High School beginning at 8:30 a.m. and we will welcome them for their orientation both Monday and Tuesday. And simultaneously, while we're having our new teacher orientation, we'll also hold what we call our administrator startup. And that's where we bring all of our school and central office leaders back on site and we prep them for the year ahead as well. So that would be held at Salem High School at 10 a.m. So both of those things will happen concurrently. You heard Mrs. Ball talk about our back to school bash. I do want to recognize and acknowledge that this is a collaborative effort between a lot of different agencies. We have our city and state officials, we have a park and rec, we have our Rockdale Emergency Relief, everybody coming together to pitch in to make sure that next Saturday's event is successful and we're able to distribute not only book bags, but a number of school supplies for our children who need it. So that is next Saturday, the 26th at 10 a.m. at the lawn at Wheeler Park. So we hope that all of our students and families will come out and participate in the fun. And as I understand it, Ms. Ball, correct me if I'm wrong, but there will be face painting, there will be a bouncy house. So in addition to getting all of those necessary school supplies, there's some fun built into the day as well. A DJ, food truck. So come one, come all, we will distribute those book bags and supplies while they last. And lastly, board, I would like to call up our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Joycelyn Smith. I did ask her to give us an update in terms of our millage hearings so that the board is aware of where we currently stand.
Good evening, Vice Chair Jones, board members, Superintendent Chesser, and guests. I just want to give you a brief update on where we are with our tax digest. Unfortunately, I can't say that we've received those numbers, but just wanted to give you hopefully an optimistic take on where we are. I spoke with Miss Tisa Smart Washington earlier this week, and she had heard from the vendor. They had basically said, we'll be visiting you soon to make the updates in your system. And if all goes well, we should be receiving those numbers soon. So hopefully that will come to pass and we should be able to make our August 7th and August 14th millage rate hearings. So hopefully good news because we're a little bit concerned, but we will know more in the next few days or hopefully by midweek next week, I hope. So that's all I have.
And that concludes our remarks tonight, Madam Vice Chair.
Would the board like to take a 5-minute recess? If not, we will continue with the meeting. The board has received the minutes for all board meetings held in June. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes for all board meetings held in June? Is there a second? A motion to approve the June 2025 board minutes as presented has been made by Board Member Duncan and second by Board Member Kinley. Is there any discussion? All in favor? The motion is approved by a 6-0 vote. There is no old business or new business. Last week, the board voted to place numerous action items on a consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve the action items under the consent agenda? Is there a second?
Second.
A motion to approve the action items under the consent agenda has been made by Board Member Duncan and second by Board Member Justin Kenley. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? The motion is approved by 6-0 vote. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation? Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? The motion has been approved by 6-0 vote. So we'll go to that. 8:00 p.m. and the board has come back into open session. Is there a motion to approve the legal representation Satina Haynes Williams in the pending litigation pursuit to board policy BBE?
So moved, Justin.
A motion has been moved by Board Member Justin and second by Board Member Heather. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? The motion is approved by a 6-0 vote. With no further business to discuss, do I hear a motion to conclude the meeting? A motion to conclude the meeting has been made by Board Member Heather and second by Board Member Akita. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? The meeting is concluded at 8:01 p.m. with a 6-0 vote.